Something smooth yet sinister, coming through to diminish you. And this here's the finisher. Check it out.
What's going on, guys? It is your boy Trey coming back at your screen by means of the World Wide Web. And today for you guys, what we are going to be getting into, I'm sure you've already seen the title of the video by now, but we are going to go ahead and get into our review of the FFBE, or the Final Fantasy Brave XVS collaboration units. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get into our review of these units, guys. Let's see what these boys are capable of now that they are all out. Take this junk off acquired. But now that they've all been released, we can go ahead and speak on what these units are capable of. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start off with one of the units from the first half of the batch. Alright, and that is going to be Rain. Alright, we're going to start this thing off with Rain. So my Rain has already been evolved up to Omni, so let me start you guys off with what you need to evolve Rain first. So first thing you're going to need to evolve Rain is going to be 2 Fire Mecha Gods, 2 Miracle Totems, 2 Fire Bulbs, 1 Metal Mimic, 1 Legend Stone, 3 million Zell, and 1 million Karma. Alright, that's what you are going to need to get your Rain up to Omni form, okay? Beast of a unit here, guys, so let's explain what this unit is capable of, okay? So first thing we're going to start off with is the normal attack. All right, Rain has a 10-hit normal attack, 5 on the drop check per hit, so that's up to 50 BCs right there dropped on this unit's normal attack. Good stuff, man. That's pretty up there. So on the BB, we have a 13-hit AoE attack. It's going to take you 24 BCs to fill up that gauge. It's going to be 13 or drop check, 1 per hit per enemy unit. All right, with a BB modifier of 370% damage modifier. Excuse me. Now on the SBB, we got an 18-hit AoE attack. It's going to take you 30 BCs to fill that gauge up, for a total of 54 to fill up the BB gauge and the SBB gauge. Okay, it's going to be 1 hit per drop check, or 1 on the drop check per enemy. All right, so it's a total of 18 per unit, 580% damage modifier on that. And then last but not least, we got the UBB coming in at a 22-hit AoE attack. It's going to take you 30 BCs to fill that gauge up, with a damage modifier of 1500%. All right, that's going to be 1 on the drop check per enemy unit. Now you can see the imp caps here already, because I'm already done with mine. This standard, you got 1500 on the HP, 600 on the other 3. Now let's go ahead and get into the leader skill here. So leader skill is called Courageous Knight. 45% boost to all parameters, negates defense, ignore damage, slight damage reduction for 2 turns when damage taken has exceeded a certain amount, and that's a 20% reduction there. Adds a probable 1-turn attack reduction effect to attack for 2 turns when damage dealt has exceeded a certain amount, and that's a 30% chance to reduce the enemy's attack by 20%. So the beauty of this unit, guys, whether you're attacking or being attacked, you're going to activate some form of his leader skill, both of which will be helpful to you, especially that damage reduction. That's great stuff right there, okay? Now, the extra skill here is called Defender of the Weak. Negates elemental damage and 10% boost to all parameters of fire types. All right, and I do believe that is including himself. All right, good stuff there. Now let's get into the BB here. It's called Faraga Strike. For the Final Fantasy fans out there, you already know what it is. That Fire Fury Faraja, all that type of stuff. All right. So what this BB does, it is a 13 combo powerful fire attack on all foes. Hugely boosts attack, defense, and recovery for 3 turns. That is by 150%. Considerably boosts BB gauge for 3 turns. That's by 8 BCs per turn. And boost max HP, that is by 15%. All right, good stuff through and through. That is good stuff. All right, and then we have the SBB. It's called Blazing Storm. It is an 18 combo powerful fire and earth attack on all foes. Hugely boosts attack, defense, and recovery for 3 turns. This time by 160%. Yep, that's top tier stuff right there, guys. Considerably boosts defense relative to attack. That is an 80% conversion. Alright, probable huge 2-turn attack and defense reduction, 30% chance to reduce the enemy's attack and defense by 50%, and negates critical damage for 1 turn. Once again, through and through, that's good stuff, guys, okay? Last but not least, we got the UBB here. It is called Shining Nova. 22 combo, massive fire and light attack on all foes. Enormously boosts attack, defense, and recovery for 3 turns. That is by 350%. Enormously boosts BB gauge for 3 turns. That is by 50 BCs. Enormous 3-turn attack and defense reduction, and that is by 90%. I think that's like the highest to date right there. And last but not least, it hugely boosts max HP, and that's by 35%. All right, literally all that UBB would need is some 75% damage mitigation on it, and that would be like the best thing ever. All right, he's missing pretty much everything. Well, that's like the only thing that UBB would need to just make it just man off the charts. So with it not having that damage mitigation, you're probably not going to be using that in more difficult content. All right, if you want to use it for the heck of it, then so be it. But 75% damage mitigation on the UBB is pretty much always top tier stuff. All right, anything outside of that is definitely just by default considered lower tier. All right, not that that's a bad UBB by any means. It's not bad at all. All right, but without mitigation, it's not going to be as much of a priority. All right, is what I'm telling you. So I mean, if you know your units already, you can kind of in some way compare this unit to what Sirius does. All right. Only thing is, Sirius actually does have that 75% damage mitigation on his UBB, but the attack, defense, and recovery buffs on Rain definitely outshine Sirius in every way. All right. So they have a few things that they clash on, but then again, they do have things that they are different in as well. So whatever you want to do with that. If you want to use both in the same party, just keep that in mind. All right. Now let's go on to what the enhancements are on this unit. Okay. So got the full list here. For 20 points, you are going to be able to boost all stats by 20%. For 10 points, you are going to boost the max HP and defense by 20, and that does stack with the 20% boost to all parameters. Keep that in mind. All right. For 10 points, damage taken boosts BB gauge, and that's by 2 to 3 BCs when you get attacked. All right. For 20 points, you can negate all status ailments. Of course, you already know what that does for you. And then for 10 points, or excuse me, for 50 points, you can have a 50% reduction in damage from fire types. For 10 points, you can enhance the leader skills parameter boost effect, so it'll be a total of 55% instead of 45%. Which is like top tier once again. All right, I think every other unit is only doing like 50 max right now. This guy's going up to 55. Just keep that in mind. All right, and then we also have for 20 points, enhance the SBB's parameter boost effect by 10% to make it 170% boost to attack, defense, and recovery. Then for 30 points, add considerable BCHC drop rate boost for 3 turns effect to BB and SBB. That'll be a 30% boost there. For 30 points, you can add 50% damage reduction effect to BB and SBB. So he basically adds damage mitigation to his BB and SBB. For an additional 20 points, you can allow that 50% damage mitigation to last for 2 turns. So he'll pretty much be on par with most of the other Omnis that are capable of mitigation there. And then last but not least, for 40 points, just scroll down here so you guys can see. For 40 points, enhances the BB and UBB's max HP boost effect, and that's by 5%. All right, so it'll be a 20% boost to the BB, 40% boost to the UBB. All right, so all in all, what do I think of this unit? Hands down, guys, in my opinion, one of the best units to touch down in global at this moment. All right. Why do I say that? Well, let's go step by step here. First of all, his leader skill here is top tier with the option to get up to 55% boost to all parameters. As I just stated, that is a 5% boost over pretty much any other unit that has that capability in their leader skill. All right. Another thing, that slight damage reduction for 2 turns, kind of similar to Arc's leader skill, is very critical for most of the in-game content in this game. All right, hard raid battles, trials, things like that will come through in a way you would not believe. Okay, and it's also a nice added bonus that you can get an attack reduction status ailment on the enemy by whooping their behind for a turn too. All right, so that's good stuff. His extra skill negates elemental damage. That's a boost. That pretty much means you can take this guy to any battle against any element. You ain't got to worry about a thing. They're not going to inflict extra damage against them. All right. And it's also a nice added boost that his extra skill works on the entire squad. All right. Now it has to be a fire type unit for it to work. That's kind of the only boom there. But outside of that, there's not too many units that got an extra skill that work for the entire squad. It usually only works for the unit itself. Another good thing, okay? Another beautiful thing, his BB is even good, guys, okay? With the BB, he coming in at 150% on attack, defense, and recovery, giving you 8 BCs and boosting your max HP by 15%, which can stack with his UBB that boosted by 35%. With the extras or the enhancement 40%, okay? That can stack. That BB HP boost and that UBB HP boost can stack, so you can give your party a huge boost to HP from using this unit alone. I highly recommend, if you're using them for a trial or raid or something like that, which I also highly recommend, at least use the BB once, all right, to get the max HP boost done and out of the way, all right? And after that, I mean, if you're doing really difficult in-game content, it's unlikely there's going to be an opportunity for you to use this UBB, because 75% damage mitigation is so much more desirable and useful, okay? And that's really this unit's only shortcoming, that UBB not having that doesn't make it a priority, but it's not a bad thing. I mean, you're only using UBB once every 4, 5, 6, 7 turns anyway, so I mean, you're going to use the one that's most useful, and 9 times out of 10, that's going to be a UBB that has 75% damage mitigation on it. So you're more than likely, you won't be using it too often for UBB, okay? But his SVB is OP as well, with the enhancement to boost attack, defense, and recovery by 170%. That is insane, guys. That is really insane. That's very high, and that's good stuff, okay? So that's also great. And it doesn't hurt to be able to reduce the enemy's attack or defense either. You're dealing more damage to them by increasing your team's attack or decreasing their defense, rather. And the 80% conversion from the attack to the defense definitely increase your unit survivability as well. So that's what makes this unit so nice. He's looking out for you on the defensive side of things as well as the offensive, all right? This unit is just all in a nutshell, just like it is a very top tier unit, guys. I really hope you pull this unit when you had the opportunity. It is a limited edition unit, so it is no longer in the gate. They have the second half of the batch up now, so I really hope you was able to pull it while you can. This unit is worth it in every aspect, guys. This unit is great. Stats are good. BB, SVB, UBB, everything is just on point, guys. I easily give this unit an S+, and you can pretty much use this unit anywhere, all right? You can use it for trials easily. You can use it for arena, colo, hard raid battles. I mean, this unit you can use anywhere, guys. And yes, he will be useful to you. All right. Now, he may not be as useful in something like arena. All right. But anywhere else, guys, honestly, I don't really see a place where you can't use this unit, where it would be a bad choice. I mean, if you really want to be specific, I guess third arc, because they really cut the stats of Omni units when you use them in third arc. But most people are using like 5 or 6 star units for third arc anyway, because the stat cut isn't as big. So yeah, that I'll leave up to you. But as far as trials and raids and all of the more difficult in-game content, easily a good choice, guys. This unit is a S+ in my book through and through. Very good unit, very solid in every aspect, okay? So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this one, guys. We are going to be reviewing the rest of the units from this batch at a later time, so stay tuned for that. And that's pretty much going to wrap this one up. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found this helpful to you. And if you wish to join the Facebook group, link is definitely down below in the description, guys. All right, other than that, we're going to wrap this thing up, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.